Hi everyone! In this video, we will be talking about the similarities and differences of watercolor, gouache, and acrylics to help you understand how to use them in your next art project. If we are to rank the paints based on transparency, watercolor is the most transparent, gouache is second, and acrylic paint is the most opaque. This means that with watercolor you have to do lots of layers to make darker colors, but with acrylic and gouache, you can paint over and cover another layer or color completely once it is dry. One thing watercolor, gouache, and acrylics have in common is that all of them are water soluble. You can add water to them to make the paint more transparent and smooth. But unlike watercolor and gouache, acrylic paint cannot be reactivated once it dries out. Gouache paint and watercolor both have gum arabic as the binder. This is what makes them water soluble. Acrylic paints use acrylic polymer as a binder. Essentially, it is a type of plastic. It allows acrylic paint to be water soluble when wet, but water resistant when dry. If applied too thickly, gouache paint can crack. Acrylics, on the other hand, can be applied thickly enough to create surface texture. When dry, acrylics have a shiny, glossy appearance, while gouache and watercolor is soft and flat. Gouache, same as watercolor, dries opaque and matte, but it can't be watered down enough to look translucent like watercolors can. As a thinner, more water-based paint, gouache is typically applied with the paintbrush, same with watercolor. You can also apply acrylic paint with a paintbrush. However, you could also choose something to make different textures with, like a palette knife. Gouache and watercolor are best suited for paper, while acrylic paint has a much wider range of applications, including paper, canvas, wood, glass, and even plastic. Acrylics dry substantially faster than gouache paints, making them more difficult to blend. You can slow the drying process by adding a retarder to your paint or misting it with water. But on their own, acrylics don't give you much time to work and blend. Gouache dries somewhat quickly as well. However, it can be reactivated with water, so blending is easy, even after it's initially dried. Watercolor dries even faster, but like gouache, it is easy to reactivate with water. So that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something, and remember to always be creating and have fun. See you in the next video. If you like this type of content, hit the like button and subscribe.